little babies.
Yeah, every once in a while you got to get off the sports. And what was the last? Let me.
Yeah, you just
Deep
all of a sudden
diving mother's gaping asshole.
Yeah, exactly. You search a little midget porn. Throw them
Goddamn Chinese with that fucking gaping.
They won't know
mother
how to pin you down.
butthole.
No, I'm gonna beat that.
Man.
Goddamn. We were fine until you said goddamn Chinese, Ray.
You said it. You said Chinese.
I didn't say goddamn.
Oh, we can't say God. I got you.
It's the God that has to be beeped.
Chinese, fine. God,
fine. Nope, they're on the back. They're on the bad list right now. It's okay to fuck with them.
Damn.
Speaking of fucking with the Chinese, what do you say we get to our opening takes? Ray, why don't you kick us off?
Super Bowl is upon us, and the GOAT talk is upon us as well. I mean, from Montana to Brady to now Mahomes, but how can you be a GOAT when you've only won one? And he's going for his third Super Bowl now, so he could be 2-1 after this weekend, but you can't be a GOAT. Tom Brady was 3-0. Montana was 4-0. You already have a blemish on your record, my friend, and it's not a dynasty either because you have to continuously win. You're going to the Super Bowl and losing, and you're not a dynasty. I mean, Montana, 4-0. Brady was 3-0. You're going to be 1-2 after this weekend. So the dynasty talk has to stop for these Kansas City Chiefs fans because it's getting ridiculous. And the GOAT talk because we all know it's either Brady or Montana, and Mahomes has a ways to go before he can even touch that pedestal that those two gentlemen are on.
Bah.
I see that.
Putting him on a pedestal.
See what I did? The old pedestal. Yeah, we'll talk a little about that. I have some opinions. I got an opinion from an outside source that I'd like to share with them as well. Until then, let's do a little basketball talk. Bobby, I know you have an opening take on the Celtics.
Yeah, let's talk about these Celtics trade rumors to bring in Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant, he's a little over the hill. He's still good, but an aging basketball player. So now the media is putting it out that apparently bringing in Kevin Durant is a good idea. The Celtics jettisoned Kyrie Irving. Obviously, we know all about Kyrie, thought the earth was flat. In his press conference, when he gets accepted by the Mavericks, he says, "I wanted to be celebrated, not just tolerated." I've never heard a quote so fucking dumb. I don't even know what that means. So this guy, we kick him out of Boston. The Nets don't want him. Kevin Durant thought it was a good idea to play with Kyrie Irving, signed with him. And now the Celtics want to bring that guy in after getting rid of him. I can't see this happening, and why we would want to get rid of good homegrown talent in Jaylen Brown, who they can win the title with. They can win the title. If it's not this year, it'll be next year. Free agents will come. They'll be able to get more type of free agents like the Brogdons to come in and fill out the roster if need be. But I just don't see it happening. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Clearly, obviously, I got a lot of thoughts on Kyrie. We can get to that departure there. And they celebrated, not tolerated. You weren't, newsflash, Kyrie, you weren't tolerated either. And the word for that, Bobby, is, I believe what you're going for is cunt. So in the Celtics whole side of that thing, I think it's bullshit in the KD talk. So we'll definitely get to that. Before that, I'll give you my opening take, and it was on the ball washing bonanza that was Brady and Belichick on Brady's Let's Go podcast that was released the other day. I'm not gonna lie to you. My initial instincts when I first saw the kind of quote, and I listened to it pretty early on, I wanted to bash this thing like a goddamn bashing basher, but I couldn't. I listened to it, and within the first line out of Bill Belichick's mouth, I was getting emotional. I was getting emotional because I was thinking of Ray, who I knew was getting emotional. I knew
hard. You're saying hard wrong.
Yeah. He was laying in his bathtub, rubbing coconut oil over his fucking fupa, listening to that shitty audio. But the two of them go back and forth, wax poetic about their goddamn careers together and how they dominated for 20 years. Oh, it was Patriot porn for the loving ears. But it was some ball washing. Not a single word of fucking truth about the angst that came with that relationship, like any relationship for 20 years. So that part bugged me a little bit. But mostly, it was a bonanza of just cradling the sack and soft blowing on the old root. So we'll get into that talk and what it means. What were the motives from that? Celtics in on KD again. We'll see what happened there. Where'd you go, Ray?
Keep talking.
Oh, God damn it. Screwed me up. I was going through my show rundown. LeBron broke the record, all-time NBA points leader in LeBron James. What a doozy that spectacle was. It is Super Bowl week. We'll get into the Super Bowl and that Chiefs Dynasty they're shooting for. A little Bruins talk. Trade deadline's coming up for the NHL as well. And simplest minds of the week. We got some doozy professional athletes on that. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, February 9th, 10th.
Yeah, plus two. Plus two.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
I got something troubling on my mind. I got something troubling on my mind. I got something blowing inside of
I'm still on Vegas time. A lot of recuperating. So I'll chalk that one up to Vegas.
Uh-oh.
It's been 2 weeks. You haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, we are the #1 New England sports show on iHeart and self-proclaimed on iTunes. Kudos to us. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends, and tell your mothers. Tell them about Dubby Energy Drink. That's Dubby.gg. Put in promo code Simple Minds for 15% off all your orders. Dubby.gg. Let's start with that Brady Belichick ball washing. I'll give you the quote. This was obviously on Let's Go podcast, Brady's podcast with Jim Gray, who sounds like a squirrel with his nuts cut off. Here's what Belichick had to say. Quote, "The greatest player, the greatest career, the great person. It was such an opportunity and an honor for me to coach Tom," Belichick said. I guess it's got to come to an end at some point. It's the greatest one ever. Congratulations, Tom." And then Tom Brady, further on in the conversation, had this to say: "For me, there's nobody I'd rather be associated with than Bill Belichick. From my standpoint, I think it's always a stupid conversation to say Brady versus Belichick, because in my mind, that's not what a partnership is about." They went on for about 15 minutes with tossing compliments like that back and forth. Belichick went into, this is getting a lot of play, Belichick went into the fact that Brady basically gave him the green light to rip his ass in meetings, and that's really what set the foundation to have the success that they had, being able to treat Brady in the same way as the other players. And I think that like in that part of the conversation, they got into some real stuff, which was really interesting to hear. But when it got towards whatever question Jim Gray asked about, kind of the end, God, these guys just wouldn't go there. They just couldn't go there. They just couldn't go to the point. Like, sometimes you just get fucking sick of each other, and that's what happened.
Well, they didn't want to talk about the horse in the room, and that would be Giselle. Like, let's be honest, that's the reason why this whole thing broke up. Giselle didn't want to spend any more winters up here, and she was putting shit in Brady's head, saying, you should be a god, and Belichick shouldn't be talking to you like that. You're not Johnny Foxborough. You're Tom fucking Brady. And I think Giselle really put Yoko Ono, the Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
And then Tom was like, "Yeah, you're right, Giselle. He's a fucking dick.
He doesn't treat me nice.
He's an asshole.
He not treat you nice for very many years, Tommy.
Yeah.
You need to treat yourself better.
Yeah.
I have nice cocoa
Never gave
butter.
me
We
one
go down
game
to
ball.
Miami. It'd be great. Tampa,
Hey.
you fucking idiot. I said Miami. Miami. Look, it is a little bit of a coincidence that basically immediately after Giselle dumped him for a jiu-jitsu guy, he was at Kraft's wedding and now is making nice with everybody back in New England. Do you think do you want to go into that route? What's the back channeling here? What's Brady's MO? He's going into the booth in 2024 for Fox. He's got a year to mend fences, and it seems like he's doing it as fast as he can. Like Bill Belichick going on a podcast. Like, what's the motives here?
I don't
what are
quite
they all
fully
getting from this?
understand.
Ooh,
Like,
I
I
know
get
what it
why
is.
Belichick would want to save face, because he's lost the breakup. Brady won the Super Bowl and he played good, and Belichick's had a couple rough years. So, but for like Brady, other than the angle you're talking about, like, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to do this. So I don't fully
He
get it.
does. He does. Because you know what every great band has? A reunion tour. Brady ain't done. Wait till fucking the spring and wait till OTAs start. He's just missing it. What is he going to do with his life? Yeah, you're great, but all you ever did in your life was football. He's going to miss the shit out of football. And what better opportunity when you got a shitbag of a quarterback in New England? You can come back here. We're all going to suck your dick dry anyway, so come on back up here, Tommy. fucking one more go around, the farewell tour. You can sell merch. You can have TB12 selling merch up in Foxborough. The TB12 tour. One more go. Bill and Brady at it again. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I'm getting hard. Hold on. Oh,
Term is just not flaccid.
Yeah, look, there's definitely going to be a Brady tour, but it's not going to be on the field. Kraft has been in the media. He was on fucking CNN the other day talking about trying to get him to sign a one-day contract. That doesn't sound like it's going to happen. The latest thing,
Brady won't sign the contract.
yeah, you
Brady
do
won't
that,
sign the
especially in the
contract,
winter.
so he's not going to sign a one-day contract. Never mind a one-year contract, Ray. But the latest thing yesterday, Kraft got a camera in his face and said, we're planning a Brady celebration. So they're going to build a statue with the $200 million scoreboard they're building down there. Part of it's going to be this Brady statue. And, don't be surprised if TB12's lights turn back on at Patriot Place, or there's a, Brady's restaurant or whatever, who's still got the deed in that Brookline house that Kraft basically fucking gave him years ago. This is something's in the works.
Oh, some athlete bought it. Hold on. Keep talking.
But I'm less cynical than that. I honestly think Brady is just a softie. I honestly just think he's a soft heart. I think he got wounded, emotionally wounded at the end of that Patriot run, probably with Belichick, but certainly with Kraft. They were so close, and they were butthurt for a number of years, and now they're literally just mending fences. They were as close as family and want to remain that way. And I honestly think that's at the root of what's going on. And there's probably some business deals that'll come along with it. But I just think Brady's in his heart is soft. And you're right. Giselle hardened him up like a like a little boy and was using him like a marionette at the end there to get down to Miami. They just missed it by 100 or so miles west in that shithole Tampa Bay.
Middle of Florida.
Yeah. Tell me, there's only meth dealers here. This bad.
But Giselle, we got Jeter's house. It's on the water. The water is nasty, Tommy. It's no good.
I do not go in water.
No, that
I
man
stay in
very ugly.
Miami.
I don't want him
I
here.
fuck, and you come on the weekend.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got on that. Brady, beyond Ray's mystery tour of Brady coming back to New England, he's definitely not coming back to play football anywhere, by the way. What any thoughts of him going to the booth? Do you think he actually makes it to the booth? I don't want to see him.
$300
I don't
million
want to hear
to
him
make
call
me go.
football games. I want to watch. He's fun to watch play football. I don't particularly like liking listening to him talk.
He's too nice.
Yeah.
If he would dissect the game the way that his mind dissects a football game, I think it'd be interesting as hell. And if he, were as competitive with it as we've seen him on the field and how everybody says he is, I think it would be awesome. He'd probably be a better analyst in the studio than live, being able to dissect shit like that. But I still dude, you're the greatest player of all time. It's fucking beneath you. Go sit on your golden throne and collect royalties off whatever the fuck else you can make money on. Don't go sit next to some jackass in the Fox booth
Or just do
talking
something
about
else.
the latest.
Well, I agree. If you
We already failed at everything else he's kind of done, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him do kind of something like that Peyton and Eli do. I would watch that. Him and another defensive player just shooting the shit and talking about this is what they're doing here. Have special guest on and shit, guys that are
Then a
out of the
UFC
league
guy
now.
comes on and tells him about the different positions the jiu-jitsu instructor put Giselle in.
That'd be awesome. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd like to see him blow up. Yeah, that'd work out great. Speaking of different positions that jiu-jitsu guys have been putting you in, Ray, why don't you kick it off with headlines with the obvious one?
Thank you there, Richard. Super Bowl 57 is here. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Glendale, Arizona at State Farm Stadium. The Eagles are favored at 1.5, and the over-under is 50.5. Other bets for the game, Chris Stapleton is singing the national anthem. Over 2 minutes and 2 seconds is favored at 125. And Riri is making her first appearance in 6 years to perform at this year's halftime
Can't
show.
say that.
Riri? That's what they call her. Riri.
Yeah, not anymore.
Halftime show, and Don't Stop the Music is the favorite at 150 for the first song during the show. The NHL is coming off its all-star break with the Bruins. With that, the Bruins don't play till Saturday afternoon against the Washington Capitals. The Bruins are 39-7-5 with a league best 83 points. In NBA news, LeBron James has stopped all the wars and made peace on Earth. No, but that's how we celebrate after becoming the all-time leader in points, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Cool. The Brooklyn Nets dumpster fire is complete. Kyrie Irving was shipped out of town when he wasn't going to get the max deal this offseason. And in one of the greatest moves ever, the Nets owner Joe Tsai shipped him off to Dallas, not LA, where Kyrie wanted to go. Tip of the cap to you, sir. Tip of the cap. And the Celtics play the Philadelphia 76ers as we speak. And they are league best 38-16 with the trade deadline tomorrow, Thursday, February 9th. And finally, the Red Sox had Truck Day, which if you or anyone you know that has gone down to watch a bunch of trucks with baseball equipment head to Florida for spring break, then you are a loser. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard.
I hope the Queen wasn't listening because that would have hurt his feelings. I think he loves Truck Day.
He likes Truck Day. He likes playing Dungeons and Dragons. He likes all those weird fucking loser games.
Is he the dungeon master?
No, his mom's the dungeon master.
Yeah,
It's his character of choice.
She lives in dark places like Aaron Rodgers.
Troll? Is that a character?
Yeah, he's the Queen. He's the Queen.
Queen. Sorry.
I can't wait to get into the Kyrie stuff. Oh, here we go. Kyrie traded to the Nets.
Well, no. From the Nets.
From the Nets. Sorry, Joe Tsai and one of the best spite, like overtly spite moves we've seen in a long time. 2 unprotected first-round picks from the Lakers, 2027, 2029. You get the Russell Westbrook contract to make the money work, and then basically whatever the young talent off the roster that they wanted. And Joe Tsai said, "Nah, we're gonna send him down to Texas." We'll see how his racial harmony fucking deals with those people.
Oh man, I love it.
To play with Luka Doncic, who has the most usage in the history of the NBA.
It's
guy
the dumbest
the
fucking trade.
Hands.
It's the dumbest fucking. It makes no. I don't understand why Dallas did it. Why would Dallas do that trade?
Because they got him for nothing. They got him for fucking nothing.
But the basketball makes no fucking sense.
No, because you're stacked with the guards now down in Dallas.
They don't play defense, but look, anybody who traded for, unless it was like Sacramento or Minnesota or somebody that needed to sell tickets, it was going to be a bad move because Kyrie Irving is one of the worst things you can do to your franchise. Flat out. He's defined himself as a problem no matter what he does. What he says
in Portland Trailblazers. He'd fit right in Portland.
I think Dame Lillard would literally kill him. I think he might murder him if he had to play with him. And then generally when you get a move like this for Kyrie, I forget who the analyst was, but he said he counted the days of good behavior from Kyrie Irving, and basically from when refusing to apologize for being an anti-Semite, which he took that apology down, by the way, that they made him put up there. That's gone. Since refusing to apologize for hating the Jews, it was 74 days of good behavior. And then the Nets refused to give him a $200 million contract because, he's only played a quarter of the games he was supposed to play, and they gave him $90 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "Get me out of here." So they shipped him to Texas. And then the first chance he gets in front of a microphone, he says, I was disrespected. I wanted to be appreciated, not tolerated. This guy is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
He said that in Cleveland. He said that in Boston, and now Brooklyn, where the place that
delusional.
he wanted to go because that's his childhood team growing up. He wanted to play for his dad's favorite team and the Nets and all this, and now he's with KD and all that. And you fucking still burned your bridge. You're an asshole. This guy, he's out of the league. He won't get a contract next season, guaranteed.
Oh, he'll get a contract. Someone will give him a contract. One of those teams I just said they'll give him a deal. Or LeBron might do it because he's desperate. But there's no more. Obviously, we've been doing the show for what, Rick? Almost 3.5 years. I've had my Kyrie rants. I can't rant anymore. I gave you the Kyrie Ultimate Douchebag blog on Simple Mind Sports. It took me all day. It was the most work I've done in 4 years. Just regular work or this show, anything I've ever done. That's the hardest work I've worked in years. I got nothing left. There's nothing left to say about Kyrie Irving. If anybody, Jay Williams, is defending this guy, what are you talking about? He's a piece of shit. That's it. He's a piece of shit.
He's an entitled piece of shit.
To your point, though, Bobby, Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players in NBA history, two-time Finals MVP, followed this piece of shit to Brooklyn. Now, to his credit, he did try to get away from him for the past 2 years, and he couldn't.
His fucking judgment it's almost worse. Like, if you're just a fucking moron like Kyrie Irving, you could be like, the guy's an idiot. But if you're the one that follows the idiot, it's like, I think that's worse.
Yeah, it's like me continuing to do the show with Ray. Like I'm on that plane.
You're an idiot.
I know. I love you, Ray. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
baby. I didn't mean that.
That's fine.
But I'll say, I don't know what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. Let's go to the KD Celtics rumors. Right after Kyrie gets traded, boom, Stephen A. Smith. The Nets are trying to move KD. People are talking. Look at the Celtics. Watch that Jaylen Brown, and then boom, Jaylen Brown out the next game with a quote unquote illness. I don't want to believe it. I want to believe the Nets called Brad Stevens, and because they spoke on the phone, they were able to leak whatever they wanted to leak, and just to drive the market up. But at the same time, they're looking to flip Dinwiddie for Max Van Fleet up there in Toronto. There's rumors of them making a deal out to Sacramento to bring guys in. They want to stay competitive.
I don't think they can do that. I don't think they can do that Toronto deal. Sorry, Rich, to cut you off, but I think it had to be a 3-team trade with Dallas, and I don't think it went through because the trade already has gone through with Dallas and Brooklyn, so it can't happen.
Gotcha. Well, either way, all the tea leaves are reading that they're looking to stay competitive. And look, even if you did want to trade Kevin Durant, he's still under contract for 2 more years. The offseason is the time to trade him anyway. He's hurt. He's not playing. He's 35 or whatever. From a Celtics perspective, Bobby, no fucking way.
Terrible trade.
Unless it's Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Gallinari, and a first round, unless it's the gems off the bench that I read on Twitter. Someone on Twitter had the audacity to say, give him a couple of the gems off the bench.
Yeah,
unless it's that, unless you sure, you want to put
picks and bums, yeah, but not like one
picks
of their
and bums.
Yeah, exactly. Give him them.
But I guess they can't trade any first round picks now either. Some NBA rule because of all the assets they've, I don't know.
Well, you can't